So I have a basic, we'll only do this for like 20 minutes and then we'll go on. So I have basic 13, which basically I just have all of the basic 13 algorithms. We won't do all of them, we'll just do a few. And then I have main.java, which is just where I'm going to be testing my algorithms. Okay, so open up the right one. Okay, so I want to print all the integers from 1 to 255. So I just have basic 01 as the method that's going to do that. So how do I print all the integers from 1 to 255?
Is it the for loop?
Yeah. So for int I equals 0, I less than what?
255.
255, I plus plus. And what do I do?
We need a sum or something like that, don't we?
Not yet. We'll do that. The sum is for the next one.
It should be less than or equal to 255 to include 255.
Yeah. So I either want less than or equal to 255, or if I want to just do
256.
that, I could just do 256. Cool. And we want to print 1 to 255. So where should I start? Should I start at 0?
What was your question again?
So I want to print the integer, all the integers 1 to 255. So if I do s out I, what am I going to get?
Oh yeah, you're gonna get 0 first. You
Yeah.
don't want 0, right? So 1 to 256.
1 to 256. Cool. Okay. How do I get it to work?
You gotta go to your main class.
Yeah. So inside my main, inside of my public static void main method, I need to call this function.
So you have to do the like something basic 13 equal new basic 13 or something.
Basic 13. Then whatever I want to call my instance, I'll just call it B new basic 13. Now I have an instance of this class. Now I can call basic 01 in here. So B basic 01. And when I run it, I get the integers. That's a lot. There it is, 1 to 255. Okay. Cool. Now I want to do the same thing, but I want to get their sum. So let me just copy this. And do I want to start at 1? I guess it doesn't matter, huh? Because I'm getting the sum. So print the integers from, it wants to print them. So let me do start at 0. And with each integer, I want to print the sum so far. And let me put this in the right place. Okay, so if I want to get the sum so far, what do I need?
Sum I?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we'll just say int sum equals 0. And then each time through, I want to get the running total, right? So I'm going to say sum plus equals I. And then I want to print I, but I also want to print sum, right? So how do I test it?
Run
B
it.
dot basic 02.
Yep. So B is my instance. Method is basic 02. Now when I run it, looks like, I think that's right. Cool. Now, here's a trick, which we're going to talk about more about this tomorrow. I can make this a class method, so I don't need an instance to be able to call it. Okay. So in order to make this a class method, I use the keyword static. So now I can just say basic 13 dot basic 02 and save both files, run it, and it still works. Okay, so basically the static makes this a class method. Which do you think is better?
I think I like the more before, less typing.
Yeah, well, yeah, but in terms of memory allocation and memory space, I'm making a whole instance of the class.
Mhm.
So this is a little more efficient in terms of memory allocation, but I mean, memory these days is pretty cheap. So yeah, this is a little bit better, but either one's fine.
So either okay. So either way is when we do it, it's either way is the same and
Yeah.
good.
Okay, let's do, how much time do we have? Oh, this is the fun one. Okay. We're gonna need the heavy hitters for this one. Wait, is it that one? No, this one isn't bad. This one's easy. Okay, so given an array, find and print its largest element. So it's when it says given an array, what do you think we need to add to this method?
An array. I don't know.
Yeah, an array, right? We need to give it an array to find the largest element of. So basically what we're going to do when we test this is we're going to have an array. So we'll call it test R. And we'll just give this some values. We'll say 1, comma, -4, comma 2, comma 67, comma whatever. Okay, so when we pass in test array to this method, right? When we say b dot basic 3 test array, we should print out, we should see 67 print, right? So we want to set up this method to be able to take an array as an argument. So how do I do that?
Have the init there.
So int and the square brackets to say that it's an array,
Mhm.
and then just name it, right? Whatever array, I could say R, we'll just say array. Okay, so now how do I find the largest element of this array?
Can we set like the thing? Because usually we do like variable largest, or can we do like int largest equals 0 or something?
Int largest equals what?
0 for now.
0. Okay.
Then a for loop.
For loop. Cool.
Array. So length, I don't know.
Yeah. Dot length. And then I++.
Yeah, like that. If
Largest.
array at position I is greater than, no, yeah, is greater than largest, then largest equals array I.
Cool. And then if we go through the whole array, we should get 67, right? Because we're going to loop through. One is first time it's going to be set to 1, then -4. Well, not -4, right? But then, so we should see 67. So if I S out largest and run it, did I call it? I did. And we get 67. Cool. Is everybody okay with that?
Lovely.
Anybody not okay with it?
I'm good.
You good? All right. All right. Let's do this. Actually, never mind. It's fine. Let's just move on. Yeah. Well, actually, no, I don't want to move on. Let's do this. Negative, 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 negative. Now, when I run it like this, what's going to be my largest value?
-1.
It'll be 0.
Should be -1, right? But what's it going to be?
0. because
Zero,
we said largest
zero.
is 0.
So what? How can we fix this?
Equals I.
Yeah. Well, not I. You're close.
First element of array.
Yeah,
Oh,
we
is
want
it
to assume that
array-
we want to check every element, right? So we want to assume that the first element is the smallest, right? It is in this case, or the largest. It is in this case, but it's just accidental. I didn't mean to do it. So we'll say R at I. No, I'm sorry, R at 0.
Then we can change the I starting to at 1, right?
Yes, we could. We could. So if I change this to 1, we don't have to check the first one. I mean, it's just going to do an extra check, but yeah, let's do that. It's probably better. Since I'm being nitpicky, I guess we should. All right, so let's run this, and we get what we're supposed to get. Cool. All right, last one. This one's going to be tough. Maybe. So we wanted to create an array with all the odd integers between 1 and 255.
We used to do module in JavaScript. I don't know here.
We use the what?
The module, the percentage sign.
Yeah.
Oh, it's here
Cool.
too.
Yeah, same thing. So we're going to say, well, first we need an array, right?
Yeah.
So how do we make an array to hold all the values between all the odd integers between 1 and 255?
The int brackets
Yeah.
something.
What goes in here?
That's a good question. Is there a reason why you did
That's
it?
why I ask good questions usually. I try to. What's that? I'm sorry?
Is there a reason why you wrote it like that? Oh, it's because we're naming the array odds.
Yeah.
Got it.
And in Java, what do we have to put in these brackets?
Double quotes,
Not double quotes.
single quotes.
So remember, in Java, arrays are fixed size. So we have to say how many items are going to be in this array.
Oh,
So how many items are we going to need? How big of an array do we need?
So what if we don't know?
We do.
yeah.
Well, I mean, technically we do know. Let's just say 255, but like half of that, right?
Yeah, exactly. So we could, or I mean, worst case scenario, we could just say 255, right? That's just going to give us an array that's twice as big as we need. But that would be fine. But to be more precise, I would do like 256 divided by 2. That way we definitely have enough. So now, how do we get the odd integers into this array?
To our for loop.
Yep. So for, I almost said let, int I equals 0, I less than, I'm sorry, less than, I'm losing
Yeah,
it.
we could do
less than.
less than 256.
Or we could just say odds.length, right? Either one. I plus plus. Now what?
If we did it through odds dot length, does that mean it's going to 128?
That's not gonna go through to 256.
I'm sorry?
The odds dot length won't go to all the way to 256.
No, it's going to go to 256, whatever the math is on this. 100 and
So 128.
128.
28? Yeah.
128.
But don't we want to go to 256 or 255?
We could go to 256. Again, we just have an array that's twice as big as we need, but
I mean, on 946, should we put it at 256? I mean, the 945 was good, 256 divided by 2. And then on 946, should we put that as a 256, not odd?
oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah. Okay. Cool.
And then should we start at 1?
Sure.
And then if statement, like if 1 modular 2 is not equal to 0 or something.
Say it again.
If sorry.
Okay. Modulo 2.
Yeah.
That shouldn't be.
Is equal. I forgot what it is. Is it equal to 1 or not equal to 0? What is this?
Either one, right? Because, well, yeah, because
The reason I
it's
asked
odd,
is
the
because
remainder is going to be 1. If it's even, the remainder is going to be 0. So that's either one's fine.
But what about for the first one? 1 divided by 2. That's only half. Or is that considered a remainder?
1 divided by 2.
Right? Because if it's 3 divided by 2, you have a remainder of 1. But what if it's 1 divided by 2?
1 divided by 2 is 0. Wait.
It's 0.5. So would it, since it's a decimal, would it just read as a whole number as 1?
Does it? I don't know. I'm asking.
Oh, because it's an int, so it removes the dot 0.
So would it be better to just write if not equals to 0? Or
Okay. Okay. Yeah.
then I forgot how to write it already because it's the new syntax. It's like dot add or something.
So that's for array list. This is just a plain old array.
Anybody? Normally we do dot push, but I don't know.
Yeah.
So dot add.
Now dot add.
Odds bracket I equals I.
Okay.
Oh,
Pretty cool. All right, let's see if it worked. So to print this out, because it's an array, if I just S out odds, right, we're going to get, let me call it. So we need B dot basic for So if I run this, we get it's broken. No, we don't. I'm printing it in the wrong place. Let me move it outside. Index 129 out of bounds. That means our array is too small. So let's change it to 256 so we don't get that error.
Because you have it less than 256, right? Should you have it less than 256 divided by 2?
No, not really. Basically, because we ran out of space at 129, so the 256 had nothing to do with it.
Mm.
So if we want it, we get the memory location of the array, which is cool but not helpful. So we want to be able to see it. So we need to say arrays dot toString, and then we pass it odds. Oops.
Oh,
Is that the name, the arrays dot toString, or
Arrays is whoops. Arrays is a util package.
oh, okay.
Gives us the toString. So it basically takes the array of whatever it is and converts it to a string so we can see it. So if I run this, this is what we get.
oh, it's 0.
And run it again.
0.
So what's happening?
3. Not equal to 0.
Shouldn't we have two equals in a line 49, or it's enough one?
Yeah, so JavaScript has the triple equals, but in Java it's just either
Okay.
not equal or equal.
Oh, it's skipping the I.
Yeah. So basically we're taking I is odd, right? So it's basically assigning all the odd integers to all of the odd indices and then skipping the evens. So how do we account for that? How do we Okay, so I'm gonna leave this for now because I don't want to like give away. I know some people like solving problems in here, so I'm gonna leave this and see if you can come up with a solution. I think this is kind of fun, but if you don't, I get it. Let's do this the easy way then. So I'm gonna do.
Wouldn't it
Oh,
have, could you
go ahead,
have
I'm
done like some, I mean, in the for loop, instead of I plus plus, could it just have +1? Started at 0?
Okay, so start at 0.
Yeah.
And this, so this I plus plus is the same as I plus equals 1.
Right. I meant the, you would have to add in sum, right? The sum of I plus 1 as you go up.
Wait, what do you mean?
So after the curly braces, would you have to add like sum I, or yeah, sum equals I plus 1. So that it will skip the even numbers.
Okay. So I plus 1 here? Is that what you mean?
I believe so.
Okay, let's see what that does.
Yeah.
We're still can't tell what happened.
No. Funny.
Out of range.
Mm.
So let's see if we do 257. No, not there. 256. Let's go ahead and do 258 just in case. So that's 0. So we just basically shifted the problem to the right one.
Yeah.
But that's interesting though, because why is it getting added in, right? Because isn't our condition that if it's not equal to 0, then do this action? So if
Uh-huh.
it is equal to 0, why is it being added?
It's not.
What do you mean it's not?
Oops. So let me do arrays dot toString odds. Okay, so we set it up. We say int odds. Odds is an array of 258 places. So if we don't put anything in, it just makes an array of zeros. So if I run this, so this is what we get initially. We do our for loop, and basically what happens is that it inserts the odd integers where we tell it to insert them. So these zeros remain from when we first initialized the array.
So that zeros is an even number.
Where's our odds dot push I, you know?
That's why, yeah, so
that way.
let's do it that way. So let's do, I'm going to say public void, what did I call it? Basic for easy. So the easy way is to use the array list. Now we do our for loop. Now, so basically, in essence, we have the equivalent of push here, right? So where do I want to start my array? Or I'm sorry, where do I want to start my loop? If I want the odd integers.
One.
Yeah. Then I could say, well, I is less than 256. I plus I what? How do we increment?
Plus plus.
We could do plus plus, or what else could we do?
Plus 2.
Yeah. Plus equals 2. Then all we need to do is say odds dot add I. I think.
Do we need to change it to the strings? Or can we just like that?
For array lists, I don't believe so. Let's find out.
Actually,
There we go. So we have. Let me comment this out so we can see what's going on. What did I do? Oh, because I'm calling it. It doesn't exist. Comment this out. There we go. So that's the easy way, right? Dynamic arrays are much easier to work with. So if you want, again, I'll give you guys the solution tomorrow, but if you want to work on it, we'll go over the solution in the morning. Unless somebody has something.
Can we try it again?
Yeah.
Is there time?
Yeah, let's do it. So let me uncomment it and uncomment this. what do we do?
So on the odds I plus 1, can we make it to I minus 1?
I minus 1?
And let's start with I equals 1
Okay.
up to 257, I believe.
57. Okay.
And I is good. Let's try that.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
We have. Okay, let's try that first.
But aren't the zeros still there?
Zero, 2, 0, 1, 2. Yeah.
Hold on. Let me
Because all we're
comment
doing
out.
is moving
Let
the
me comment this
position.
out.
Just shifted it.
Yeah, because we're just moving the position. But then the question now is like, how do we get rid of the zeros?
Yeah, I was thinking of moving it, zero shifted. Just shifted it.
Yep.
Yeah, you just shifted it. Okay,
So we just shifted it from, and actually, what the heck is going on?
it's a lot of zeros.
It's 258.
It's the matrix.
Yeah. I don't know what's going on. What did I do? There we go. That's it.
1 0 3 0 5 0. Okay, you just shifted it. Yeah. Cool. Something to chew on later.
Mm-hmm.
Would it be something in the south? Like the way you're printing it? Would it be like we would have to probably manipulate the odds instead of it just being odds, have to be like odds, maybe index.
Yeah, but this odds is what we want, right? So odds, we want the function calls for an array with all the odd integers between 1 and 255. So, which technically this is, but we don't want all these zeros in here.
Okay.
Okay, let me stop recording.